Could your daily veggies actually be shortening your lifespan in silence? Today, you'll discover 7 vegetables you might think are harmless, and yet each one can quietly harm your health if mishandled. Stay with me until the very end, because the 7th item is a kitchen staple that's both the most common and the most dangerous when it goes wrong. From hidden toxins in raw beans to salad greens that spike kidney stone risk, you'll learn exactly what to avoid and how to protect yourself. Let's dive in. Raw kidney beans. Imagine eating just a handful of these vibrant red beans and ending up doubled over in agony. That's because raw kidney beans are loaded with phytohemagglutinin, a plant lectin roughly 400 times more toxic than cyanide by weight when undercooked. Just 4 or 5 imperfectly cooked beans can trigger severe nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea within hours. Symptoms so intense they stress your organs and, over time, can erode your resilience. The good news? A simple routine fixes this hidden hazard. Soak overnight, then boil vigorously for at least 10 minutes. Research shows that this brief rolling boil slashes toxin levels by over 90%. Follow this step, and those kidney beans become a heart-healthy, protein-rich powerhouse that supports steady blood sugar and overall vitality. Fava beans, broad beans. Fava beans stand out as a fiber and folate superstar, but for people with G6PD deficiency, present in up to 8% of Mediterranean and African populations, they can spark a dangerous reaction called favism. Inside each bean lie vicine and convicine, compounds that, when metabolized, can rupture red blood cells. Picture your bloodstream losing its oxygen carriers overnight. That's acute hemolytic anemia, leading to fatigue, jaundice, and even kidney stress if untreated. A landmark study reported that just a couple of raw fava beans can provoke this crisis in sensitive individuals. The practical solution? Get a quick G6PD test, commonly available at primary care clinics, so you know if you're at risk. If you test positive, skip broad beans entirely. If not, cook them thoroughly and pair them with vitamin C-rich foods to bolster red blood cell health. Cassava is a lifeline for millions worldwide when prepared correctly. Bitter cassava varieties hide cyanogenic glycosides, which release hydrogen cyanide in your gut. Chronic exposure to low doses can contribute to tropical ataxic neuropathy, a type of nerve damage, and in acute cases, paralysis known as konzo. Improperly processed cassava has even delivered lethal cyanide doses in vulnerable communities. Your practical takeaway: always peel, grate, soak in water for at least 24 hours, then rinse and cook thoroughly. Traditional fermentation methods reduce cyanide by over 90%. When you follow these steps, cassava transforms from a hidden danger into a reliable source of calories, vitamin C, and resistant starch that feeds friendly gut bacteria. Green potatoes and sprouts. Have you ever spotted a greenish tint on your potatoes and shrugged it off? That green means solanine, a natural pesticide that can cause headaches, cramps, and diarrhea, and in high doses, neurological symptoms like confusion. A recent case report described a healthy adult who suffered severe solanine poisoning after eating green-tinted fries, illustrating how even a comfort food misfire can land you in the ER. Stay safe by storing potatoes in a cool, dark place and discarding any with green patches or visible sprouts. If you find small sprouts, trim them off completely before cooking. A little caution keeps the potassium and fiber benefits without inviting an avoidable toxin to dinner. Rhubarb leaves. Rhubarb stalks are a delightful, tangy treat, but the leaves are a different story. Packed with oxalic acid, a single large leaf can deliver enough to trigger kidney damage or, in extreme cases, fatal poisoning. Oxalate crystals bind calcium, potentially causing acute hypocalcemia and painful kidney stones if enough is ingested. Stick to the stalks and toss every leaf without mercy. Think of it like peeling an orange. You wouldn't eat the bitter pith. Enjoy rhubarb's vitamin C punch in moderation, and always remember, if it's leafy, it's meant for compost, not your plate. Bok choy shines with sulforaphane antioxidants, but it also carries goitrogenic glucosinolates. When consumed raw in very large amounts, these compounds can convert into thiocyanate, which competes with iodine in your thyroid. Over months, that competition can contribute to goiter in low iodine regions. In fact, research showed that eating over half a kilogram of raw crucifers daily correlated with slight thyroid enlargement in some people. You don't need to swear off bok choy, just steam or saute it lightly. Heat deactivates up to 50% of goitrogens, letting you keep the crisp texture and vitamins A and K without burdening your thyroid. Spinach often wears the crown of superfood, but it's also one of the highest oxalate greens. Studies found that people in the top fifth of oxalate intake had a 25% higher incidence of calcium oxalate kidney stones than those in the lowest fifth. Plus, overcooking spinach at high heat can convert nitrates into nitrosamines, compounds linked in animal models to increased cancer risk. The smart approach? Enjoy spinach in moderation. Think half a cup of cooked leaves per meal, and pair it with a calcium source like yogurt or cheese. Calcium binds oxalates in your gut, preventing them from reaching your kidneys. When cooking, opt for quick sautéing over a gentle flame rather than a high-heat blitz. This preserves nutrients while cutting down on unwanted byproducts. Begin by giving your pantry and fridge a thoughtful check. Remove any potatoes that show green patches or have begun to sprout, and make sure rhubarb leaves never sneak into your cooking. Label your raw beans so you remember which need soaking and which need intense boiling. This simple step prevents accidental toxin exposure and builds good habits for every meal you prepare. Next, if you love fava beans, take 2 minutes to get a G6PD test at your local clinic or lab. Knowing your status gives you confidence. If you discover you're sensitive, you can skip those beans without losing sleep over it. If you're in the clear, you can enjoy broad beans safely by cooking them thoroughly and pairing them with vitamin C-rich ingredients like bell peppers or citrus. When it comes to cassava, respect centuries of wisdom. Peel, grate, and soak for at least 24 hours, then rinse and cook until tender. If you travel or eat in places where cassava is a staple, look for vendors or producers who follow proper fermentation techniques. Those sour, tangy notes in traditional cassava breads aren't just flavor. They're your safety net against cyanide. With cruciferous veggies like bok choy, remember that heat is your friend. A quick steam or gentle sauté deactivates a large portion of goitrogens while preserving the bright crunch and vibrant nutrients. You can still toss raw kale into salads, but make steamed greens the star of your cooked dishes. This way, you support your thyroid without giving up the age-defying antioxidants that make these plants so powerful. Finally, share this knowledge with friends and family. Cooking together becomes a moment to swap safety tips, discover new recipes that follow best practices, and build a supportive community around mindful eating. By taking these steps, you ensure that the vegetables meant to nourish you become true partners in health, never silent saboteurs of your well-being. Now, armed with these 7 vegetable safety secrets, you can create meals that are both vibrant and entirely safe. Remember, vigilance in the kitchen is the most practical path to lasting vitality. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video with your family members and friends. Stay curious, stay cautious, and enjoy every bite with confidence.